forcing open my eyes with a torchlight of transcendental knowledge. This verse, that verse, it means that we're born into ignorance. We don't know anything. We have practically no understanding of the nature of the world we've been born into. And we learn things along the way, but until we meet a genuine spiritual master, someone in the disciplic succession coming down from Krishna, coming down from God, that opens our eyes to actual knowledge of the truth. And the spiritual master is very gentle and very sweet and very compassionate, but he will force open our eyes. That is his compassion, that he forces our eyes to open so that we can see the truth, so that we don't suffer anymore. Because without that knowledge, we're wasting so much of our life doing so many things that have no real benefit for us. We're working hard to get ahead, what we call ahead materially, to get some better situation. But the scriptures advise us, and the gurus and the saintly souls, they've advised us actually it's a fruitless endeavour, because this world is not designed for us to be ever fully satisfied, and especially if we're focusing our attention on trying to satisfy the body or the senses, which most people are concerned about, how to have a better life, a happier life. It's natural, the soul is eternally happy, so we're naturally wanting to have a happy life, but the saying is you're barking up the wrong tree. So I thought I hadn't really prepared much for today, but I've been thinking a little bit about a few realizations I've had recently, because the deities, Jagannath is here now, and so we've been trying to do arati every day, and to maintain that service. And quite often, I know for myself, the consciousness is not always in a mood of loving devotion when you're doing devotional service. It's meant to be devotional service, it's not just service. It's meant to be with a heart of affection. And so it's very difficult, I've found over the years, it's difficult to have genuine heartfelt affection for someone that you don't know. Yeah. So and there's also this, I was thinking there's so many shortcomings in my service. I know the rules and the regulations are there, and there's so many guidelines of how to do things properly so that you come up to the standard where you do have devotion, and I don't always follow those properly. I'm not always chanting all the mantras that are necessary for offering the different items. I'm not always often a little late, or my cloth isn't clean, or so many things like that. So there's so many shortcomings, and I'm often looking at myself and seeing all my shortcomings and all my faults. But then I'm thinking, actually, Krishna doesn't see like that. He's saying, oh, my devotee is coming and offering me some incense. How nice. And so that made me think that actually we should also see other people like that also. Like Krishna sees us, he's described as our best friend, and that so we all have, I'm assuming we all have friends. Anyone not have any friends? You've got friends? Okay. So what are some of the the qualities that you look for in a friend. Why is someone your friend and someone not your friend? Anyone have any suggestions of what makes a friend?
Understanding.
Understanding, yeah?
Care.
Care,
Yeah.
yeah? They've got your back, they've got you covered, yeah? They'll stand by you, yeah?
Sometimes it's just a natural connection.
A natural, the friendship.
Even when sometimes when two people meet, they become friends automatically.
Right. That's possible, yeah. But to maintain the friendship, there must be some.
It's a heavy thing actually. Gerda talked about what a friend really is. This isn't being called. Pretty heavy. What a friend is right through your life is there taking care. Any sickness, any illness is there looking after you. Any problems is there to help financially or any other way. And at the end is there to be friends. It's a heavy thing. People probably bang to that. Not really. My friend's day.
Yeah. Well, Kali Yuga, things become degraded.
Your day gave us, and it's quite heavy. What a friend really is.
Yeah. So then you start thinking the qualities. One of the qualities is loyalty. You know your friend, like you say, has got your back, and he'll be there no matter what. And he's non-judgmental, the non-fault finding, all those qualities. Confidential, yeah. So when we think of all these qualities, the understanding, the care, the got your back, the loyalty, confidentiality, always there. There is no one better than the Lord. Really, when you think, no one understands you better than the Lord. Your husband doesn't know you as well. Your children don't know you as well as the Lord knows you. And as far as care, I mean, who can care for you more than the Lord? He provides you with everything you need. Everything. He goes to every detail of everything you need. You need a place to live? Here, I give you a place to live. You need some sunshine? Yeah, he's the sun. He'll give you some rain, I'll give you some food, I'll give everything for you. I give you a husband, I give you children, I give you everything you need. This is so nobody cares for you more than the Lord. And as far as loyalty goes, he's always there, 24/7. He's there. You turn your back on him. You ignore him. He doesn't judge. He doesn't get annoyed. Not like friends here. You ghost someone for a while. That's it. Finished. But the Lord, we ghost him for lifetimes.
He won't befriend you.
He won't. He won't delete you or be from you. Yeah, so he stays with you. He witnesses everything. He's there in your heart. You cannot be anyone closer. So I had that realization today, Auntie, when I was thinking that actually, so many shortcomings, so many narratives, so many things in my heart which are stopping me from actually giving actual affectionate service. But then I realised that the Lord, He doesn't see like that. He sees it, but it's not. There's no judgment. There's no, and He sees the positive. Okay, and so in our interpersonal relationships with each other and with people we meet, we can be like that also. Everybody is conditioned. When you meet someone, what you're seeing is their conditioned self. What you're relating to, they're conditioned by their modes that they're under. Everybody is struggling, it's described in the Gita. Everybody is struggling with their mind and their senses. So we're all in the same boat. And so according to the conditioning we have, we act in a certain way. So what you're dealing with when you're interacting with people is not the real person. You're dealing with the conditioned person. So if you've developed some sensitivity and some compassion, you can understand that this person, rather than getting caught up with what they're saying or what they're doing that you don't like, you can understand they're acting this way because they're not pure, they're conditioned, and have compassion for them. So, and in our interrelationship dealings with everybody we meet, we can learn from Krishna to be non-judgmental, to be non-fault-finding, to see the good, to acknowledge the good side that is there, and encourage that, and encourage people, everybody we meet. You know, this is Lord Chaitanya's mission, that people take up the practice of chanting Hare Krishna. So somehow or other, through the association of those who are practicing Krishna consciousness and are trying to develop their love for Krishna, we can encourage people, we can practice the qualities of a devotee. The devotee has these 26 qualities of humility, tolerance, perseverance, all these things, and they become very attractive to others. And it's coupled with, this quality of non-judgmental, real friendship, where you actually care for the soul, for the eternality of the soul, so that it's nice to want to go back to Godhead ourselves, but we don't want to be the only ones there. We want everyone to go, so we've got some friends. Yeah, so yeah, so that was my meditation for the week about friendship and what is a real friend, and really meditating on the fact that the super soul is there life after life, travelling with you through everything. We don't know, maybe this is our 10/100th millionth birth. Paramatma has been there. We've got friends now, but they won't be there next life. They weren't there last life. They won't stay with us forever and help us and guide us. Only Paramatma does that. You have your husband, next life, you don't know. So for this life, he's important. He's very, he plays a big part in your life. Your children play a big part in your life. You're concerned, you think about them. But in the long run, you will die, and you will have to take another birth. So this is what gurus and parampara and the great souls are giving us, a higher vision, thinking beyond our life at the moment and our struggles and our daily kind of problems, to think beyond that. Okay, we will die. What will happen at death? Where will we go? What's it all about? These are the things we need to actually really think about and mould our life accordingly. When you're young, you have a lot of energy and a lot of ambition, and a lot of things you want to do, and a lot of ideas of ways that you can, provide for your family and things like this. But as you get older, your priorities change, and you see, some of your friends, they start to get quite sick, or they start to die, and then you start realizing it's coming, it won't be far away now. So then your priorities change, and you realize, actually, this life, it goes very quickly. I mean, remember as a child, you hear that adults say, life goes really quick, and you think, I've got my whole life ahead of me. What do you mean it goes really quick? But before you know it, you'll be how old are you? You're 10. I know that. So you may say if you live to 80 years old, how many years have you got? From 10 to 80. 70, yeah. That's a long time, right? Can you believe I was 10? Yeah. How long ago was that? Roughly 50 years. So, I can remember when I was 10. It doesn't seem that long ago, but it's gone really quick. So, so we have an opportunity in this age we live in. We don't have much good qualities. We don't have much, concentration span, especially now with everything is so instant. With internet and we don't have much determination or kind of not able to do a lot of austerities so it's become it would be very, very difficult to make spiritual progress in this age because of all these bad things that make it hard. We can't meditate for very long, we get distracted, our minds and senses are so disturbed. So it's become, because Krishna is extremely kind, extremely compassionate, extremely merciful, and completely understanding of the situation, he's come in a form which is extremely easy because he knows what it's like. He understands. So he's come in the form of his holy names, and he's just asking. He's come in the form of Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya, and he's requesting. He's begging everybody, please, 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 just chant Hare Krishna. That's it. Just chant Hare Krishna, and then everything else will be fine. Everything else will work out. All the spiritual truths will be revealed to you. You can't learn them. You have to have them revealed. You can study the books as much as you like, and you'll get some academic knowledge, but the actual spiritual truth has to be revealed, and that is revealed once the heart becomes purified. As the dirty things from the heart are cleansed, just like if you are trying to grow something, you have to prepare the soil, and the richer the soil, the more it's conducive for the seedling to grow, then it will do well. So the same, the heart has to be prepared, has to be cleansed to make a nice environment for the Lord to reveal knowledge. And then with that knowledge, you can make steady progress. So, yeah. So the idea is keep your life simple. Keep your life very simple. Don't get too caught up with all the trappings of the world. Kaya, what do you want to do when you leave here? When you go from here, what are you going to do? Go home with Mum? Have something to eat? So the trick is, Maya is, some people say Maya is illusion. You've heard of Maya? Maya is illusion, but actually, Maya is real because we experience her every day, and her job, her service to Krishna is to cover the conditioned souls and then drag them down. So there's some animals in the sea that do that. They get something and they drag it down to the bottom. But Maya is like that. So we experience that every day, that Maya often, will work through our mind. So our mind will contemplate something. Maya will, we become attached to that thing, and then it'll drag us away from our duties or our spiritual progress, and then it will drag us down like that. So by chanting Hare Krishna, by chanting the mantra, gives us a protective shield from Maya. It gives us a shelter. So it's quite simple. It's quite a simple process in Kali Yuga. It's to chant and dance and take prasad. So that's there's a lot of philosophy and there's a lot of books and but one time Prabhupada was with John Lennon, Yoko Ono, and he was preaching to them to say you need to chant. It's very important that you chant Hare Krishna. You can chant by yourself, you can chant with others, any way it's good. And so Yoko Ono, she said, well, you've written all these books, so much books you've written, all this philosophy. So why have you written the books if all you have to do is chant? And he said, it's to convince you to chant. The books are there to convince you to chant. Because people don't believe it. They think, how can it be so just saying these words over and over? How can that get you knowledge? How can that get you enlightenment? How can that get you out of the material world? How can that get you back to this blissful, all-perfect place and live eternally with the Supreme Lord in ever-increasing bliss, at every moment, and you are fully absorbed in this love. It's a planet of love. It's the only thing that exists there. Everything is based on love. Everything is made of love. So how can just by saying these words over and over and over achieve that? So the books are there to convince us because we're doubtful. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to tell a story now, which it's not entirely related to what we've been talking about, but I just read it the other day, so it's one of the few stories I can remember. So there were some sages, and they were discussing who they were meeting. I can't remember the name of the place they were meeting, but they were discussing who is the most in the mode of goodness. Is it Lord Shiva? Is it Lord Brahma? Or is it Lord Vishnu? Because all these three presiding deities, Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu, are all worshipped as God. Shiva is worshipped as God. Lord Brahma is also, he's the creator, so many people will understand he's God. So they decided that one of the sages, Bhrigu Muni, he would go and find out. So he went to Lord Brahma, who was his father, and he asked him. He went there and he said, I don't know what I'll do. Well, to test him, to find out who is in the mode of goodness. He tested him by just going to Lord Brahma and standing there and hi Dad. And Lord Brahma said, what is this? You're not showing any respect? And no, I'm not. And so he said, but not only am I the creator of the universe, but I'm your father. Because every other time he would visit him, he would pay obeisances and offer prayers, because that's the etiquette. When you see someone superior, you offer respects and you offer prayers. But he didn't do that. He just stood there, and every time Lord Brahma tried to question him about it, he was very nonchalant, like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm not. Is it? You think I'm being offensive? No, I don't think that. And so it reminded me of a teenager, actually, a Western teenager. They were like, I don't care. So Lord Brahma became a little upset, became angry. So at that time, he understood that he's still conditioned by the mode of passion. He's not in the mode of goodness because he experiences anger. So then he went to Mount Kailash and saw Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva was there with Parvati, and he came to see him, and he was a brother, and they would often see each other, and so he greeted them. Again, you know, he had a brotherly relationship with Lord Shiva, but at the same time, he's Lord Shiva. So he said, his brother went to embrace him. Lord Shiva went to embrace Brigu as coming, as a great sage, and Brigu moved back from them. And he said, what is this? Why do you not, you know, take my embrace? He said, you're disgusting. You're disgusting. You're covered in ash. You know, I don't want to, you smell bad. And so then Lord Shiva became, again, very disturbed by this behaviour of Brigu's. And it was actually Parvati that had to intervene to stop him from cursing him or doing something. So then he knew that actually Lord Shiva was still under the influence of the mode of ignorance to react like that. So then he went to Lord Vishnu. He went to Swaitadweep, and he went up to Lord Vishnu, and he was there lying down. Lakshmi was massaging his feet, and he went up and he kicked him in the chest.
Uh-oh.
He kicked Lord Vishnu, and then so Lord Vishnu got up and said, "Oh, my dear Brigu," he said, "please forgive me. We didn't welcome you properly. You came, but we didn't offer you a seat." And Brigu was surprised that he had reacted like that. And he said, your feet are so soft from as a great sage, you have such soft feet. I hope that you did not hurt them on my hard chest. So then he understood. That Vishnu is the mode of goodness. He's supreme. So yeah. Anyway, it was a nice story, and I liked it, so I thought I'd share it.
Yeah, it's nice.
Again, that quality of tolerance and accepting everything that happens in our lives as the mercy of Krishna, as the blessing of Krishna. Everything that happens is actually for our benefit, because he's our best friend. He's there with us, and he's arranging things. He's doing everything. We've got small, tiny microscopic little brains. We don't understand. He's unlimited in his intelligence. He's unlimited in his love. So as a friend, what better friend do we have? He's got unlimited intelligence and unlimited love, unlimited kindness. Just make him your friend. Just have faith in him, trust him. If you want to test your faith, I assume we all believe in Krishna. We all accept that Krishna is God. You can test your faith by, when you go to bed at night, you make a short prayer to say, Krishna, my dear Lord, I want to wake up in the morning at 4:30 and chant Hare Krishna. Please wake me up. And then if you don't use your alarm, you have faith that Krishna will wake you up. He will wake you up. 4:25, you'll wake up and you've experienced this?
Yeah,
All the time. Krishna wakes you up.
I always wake up before my alarm.
Yeah. So this is a fact, you know. This is Krishna who's in your heart, and if he sees on my journey, I can help him. I'll wake him up. You don't need your alarm. You try it out. You say to Krishna, if you pray to Krishna for some material desire, you may or may not fulfill. Anandini?
And if we are so weak that in reality we don't want to get up at 4:30.
Well, that's your choice.
But will Krishna have pity of us and wake up anyway?
He'll wake you up, but then it's your choice. You can wake up and go, I'm too tired actually. I think, you know, if I have another 10 minutes, I think I'll be okay. And then an hour and a half goes past. That's what happens. Is that right, Prem? It's pretty much. Krishna will wake you up, but then he leaves it to you. I've woken you up now, so to you. You want to get up and come and see me, and associate with me, or you want to let your mind. This is why we have to train our mind, train our intelligence to defeat our mind. We've always got like 4 voices in our head, all the time. We've got our mind telling us one thing. We've got our intelligence, we've got our super soul also trying to tell us things. And we don't always listen. We don't listen to the super soul. We don't listen to the intelligence. We mostly listen to the mind. So we have to train ourselves to actually discriminate between the different voices. There's 3, yeah, and then there is the self. So we have to train ourselves to distinguish between the different voices and know when the mind says, look, you had a late night, you're tired. If you get up now, you won't be able to chant properly. If you have a bit more rest, then you'll be okay. You'll be fresh and you can chant. Then you have to distinguish immediately. Intelligence has to go, shut up. You've told me that before. I've heard that 1,000 times and it never works. I'm not listening to you. I'm getting up. So you have to distinguish between the different voices. Intelligence comes in and goes, that's a trick. I know that trick. You've done that before. Does that answer your question? Okay, so anything else? We'll do Arati, and then we'll have some prashad.
Can we hear something from him?
And here's something from Brian.
Yeah.
Devotees are asking you to say something.
What do you want me to say?
Well,
I don't know.
Question?
Krishna.
The super soul.
Sorry?
We were talking about Paramatma, the super soul, and the glories of Krishna. Was so he knows everything, and his expansion is the super soul, and the super soul is all pervading. He's everywhere. He's especially within the hearts of all living entities, right, situated right next to the soul in our hearts. And really, without this all-pervading nature of Krishna and the super soul, then we wouldn't be able to do anything. Or everything comes from Krishna. So, in that way, he is our most intimate associate in the world because he
Just push.
he's the only one that's
Just push.
completely next to us and supplying everything in the material world. So, and also the spiritual world. But how is he a person? Because one of the biggest traps in this world is the impersonal conception of God, and also the Mayavad conception, which is more like everything is becomes, everything is illusion. So everything is ultimately nothing. And we're God and we're creating this whole thing. That's what Mayavadis, somehow they can think these things, they make up these philosophies based on a little bit of truth. Krishna's said in the Vedas, Brahma meti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavanati Sabjata. So Krishna has three energies or three manifestations. He's impersonal effulgence, which is called the Brahma Jyoti, and everything rests on that. It is alive, it's a spiritual energy, and without that, nothing functions. It's all pervading. And then the super soul, like we were discussing, is all pervading. And then there's Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. So God is one, but many. So Krishna has unlimited manifestations of his personal energy. He's Krishna, he is Vishnu, he is sometimes Lord Brahma. In this particular universe, Lord Brahma is a jiva, like us, but sometimes Krishna takes that position of the creator. So what are some of the other personalities? There's Vamanadev, there's Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. He takes unlimited forms, but he is the one supreme personality of Godhead. And our job in this world is to somehow awaken our love, or reawaken it, our love for God, and that will manifest as a personal relationship ultimately. So we have to discover who Krishna is. And so that when we chant, then Krishna manifests. And then we'll know that we've made some progress. There's two forms of chanting. There's the one where we repeat Krishna's names, which are transcendental, but we're just saying the names. And then the other form of chanting is when we say Krishna's names, he appears, and we have that relationship. And that's why great devotees like Haridas Thakur, they didn't stop chanting. They chanted all day, all night, and these other great devotees like Srila Prabhupada and some of the other great saints we know, they don't really sleep because they're so connected with their personal relationship with their Krishna, with their particular form of Krishna. They're already experiencing that, and it's so enlivening that there's no need, there's no austerity in chanting. Anyway, how was it?
That's wonderful, thank you.
Alright, But we're going to do Archie now. Hey, boy.
24.